Welcome back to another episode of the NYAF podcast. I'm Yo Kev, that's Peter. Before we get started, don't forget to follow us on YouTube. If you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button down below, comment, and hit that bell icon to get all the notifications. We're going to be putting out more episodes weekly. So if you want to listen to us more often on YouTube, hit that bell icon.
Yeah, follow us at Instagram and Twitter at NYAF_pod as well. You catch us on Podbean, iTunes, all that. So
here we go. We this episode is very near and dear to Peter's heart, and we just want to let you know there might be a couple words that we haven't said in any of our podcasts coming out his mouth. We're getting into this Astros apology, and I'm gonna let you know before he gets started. I was not happy. I wanted to flip a table when I heard them come out and apologize. So I'm gonna let Peter get started, and I'll let you know how I feel in a little bit.
all right, so everybody knows what's happened with the Astros and the Red Sox, and as Yankee fans, we take it a little bit more personal, and I'm sure Dodgers fans feel the same way. So we hear they're cheating, and people coming out saying that they're cheating. They do an investigation. Commissioner comes out and says he didn't find anything, which is absolutely ridiculous because
to be completely clear, he said he found something, but not to the extent of what everyone else is saying. He found, obviously, the owner was okay, but the manager got fired, the GM got fired, the bench coach got fired, and a player that became a coach, which is Carlos Beltran, he got fired before he even got started. So,
which I think were all semantics because, again, they weren't the ones doing anything. It was the players.
it was definitely player driven. So
it was a player driven, thing going on. So anyway, so we're all sitting here waiting for the beginning of spring training, pitchers catchers report, teams report.
yeah.
Here, okay, the Astros are going to talk. They're going to have, they're going to talk to the media. So I'll put on TV and you have what's his name, Jim Crane talking, owner of the Astros.
Jim Crane.
Sounds completely stupid.
Right.
First of all, it was like a slap in the face. You're gonna sit here and read from a script. It was your PR guy. It was obviously wasn't written by you because when you write something yourself, you kind of have an idea of what you're gonna say. He was reading word for word what this PR guy wrote.
And I want to say maybe if he would have written it himself, it would have sounded a little bit more, yeah. But what he read, I'm not gonna stop you no more. I'm sorry. I get frustrated. Go ahead.
So I'm sitting here. It's like I think 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm watching this guy, and you just want to slap him across the face, and he's just reading from a script. He should fire his PR guy because it was terrible. Then to add insult to injury to insult, insult to injury, however you want to put it.
There goes his English, ladies and gentlemen.
They bring out Bregman, who I can't stand as a Yankee fan. I just can't stand him because all the trotting around that he was doing last year, when in front of the cameras in the dugout when he was getting these hits and stuff. And he is sitting here. First of all, you could tell that he had a script, and then the baseball gods blew the script away, and it was a beautiful thing because now he was talking in 3-word paragraphs. I am so sorry. And he sounded like a robot, and he's got his fingers up like this, and you could see it on his face that he was just trying to look sad and it was so frustrating to see. They were just making fun of the world. Like, ha ha, We did this. We won a title from it, and we really don't care. And it was a huge slap in the face. And then you got Altuve comes out, and between the both of them, they spoke for about a minute.
I think yeah, it was what, a minute and like 5 seconds or something
Yeah,
like that. It
like
was
30,
39
30
seconds for
seconds.
Altuve or something like that, and 45 seconds for Bregman.
And I'm sitting here watching, and I remember I called you. And I said, "Are you watching this?" And you tell me, "Yeah." You said you were listening to it, and it was, oh man, I think about it now, and it's just so frustrating. Like they
Listen,
really didn't care.
I was listening to it at my job. So I'm at my job at the computer. I'm listening to them speak, and I hear the owner say um, he doesn't think
It
that
affected the game.
it affected the game.
Unbelievable.
40 seconds later,
Not even. I don't even
as a
think
matter
it
of
that
fact,
long.
if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna put a clip on there. Um, just listen to this foolery of him saying how he doesn't think it affected the game. 40 seconds later, he's gonna say, "Well, then I didn't say it didn't affect the game, but this is what happened. This is what the commissioner found, and that's that."
What do you have to say to the Yankees and teams that you beat in 17?
Listen, the Yankees have had a few comments out there. Our opinion is, that this didn't impact the game. We had a good team. We won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that.
12 seconds later.
Jim, when talking about the Yankees there, did you say you feel like this didn't impact the game? And what do you mean by that?
I didn't say it didn't impact the game. Basically, as the commissioner said in his report, he's not going to go backwards. It's hard to determine how it impacted the game, if it impacted the game, and that's where we're going to leave it.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating, and it became even more frustrating when Commissioner Manfred came out and said they're basically done with any punishment. So that's it. This is what they got: the year-long suspension for Hinge, year-long suspension for the GM, and that's it. They're not stripping the title. No players are going to be affected by this, and a lot of players are very angry. Cody Bellinger came out and said he's
I have his
disgusted.
tweet right here. I have his tweet right here because it was one of the best tweet. It was not his tweet, his quote. And before the day before, I think Bellinger spoke. They asked Gary Sanchez what he thought, and he said, if I get a hit like that in such a big moment, you could rip my pants and my shirt off."
Right, right.
Who? It's just, again, like I go back to watching this and I get frustrated, so it's gonna be even harder for me to talk. I'm not the best at speaking, but
That's an obvious.
you I was watching this and I literally just wanted to throw my remote at the TV. I just wanted them to stop. I just wanted the whole
That's
thing
how
to
I
be
felt. Honestly, I was like, it would have been better
stop.
if they didn't say anything.
Yeah, because
I mean,
now you're just,
they would have been angry regardless. But now it's basically a slap in the face.
yeah, there was nothing they were gonna do or say that was gonna make any of this better. But all they did was make it worse because it was like, ha ha ha, we won, and that's it. And we don't care what anybody thinks. And the commissioner didn't find anything. So back to the Cody Bellinger. He says, I thought Manfred's punishment was weak, giving them immunity. I mean, these guys were cheating for 3 years. I think what people don't realize is Altuve stole an MVP from Judge in 17. Everyone knows they stole a ring from us. And I agree. Like out when I heard that Judge, I mean, Altuve had a great year in 17.
But yeah, but I have the numbers. Judge led in every category that they're supposed to be judged on. He led in every category except batting average.
I mean,
And
batting average is big.
he was hitting
People
like
like to see
286,
it.
so it wasn't even that bad. He was above 250. He was hitting like 286. He led in every category that year.
Yeah, and he should have won. And I was upset that he didn't win when It was Altuve, and it's also there's a Yankee factor into that too. People don't the writers because this is not something. This award isn't given to by the MLB. It's just like the Hall of Fame. It has nothing to do with the MLB. It's the MLB Hall of Fame, but it's the writers and it's a completely separate organization.
which is
And
ridiculous.
it sometimes the writers they shy away from Yankees because of how popular and how they're the Yankees. So it's very upsetting, and I agree with Bellinger, and I agree with almost all the players that are coming out now and saying things like in such a big game when Altuve hits that home run off of Chapman, you have the mind. Listen, these guys are living our dreams. I, this is something that I know I can speak for both of us here. This is something that we wanted to do as kids. Man, you can sign us up right now to look ridiculous on the field for free, and we'll go do it right
Listen,
now.
I'll be the bullpen catcher for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I'll be the ball boy. I'll walk around with a tray with Gatorade on it. I don't care. But these guys are living our dream, and I can't imagine hitting a home run off one of the top relievers in baseball after they just hit a home run. I think it was to tie the game, and you're gonna hit a home run, and the first thing you think about is, oh, let me tighten up. Don't rip off my shirt. And then as soon as you celebrate, you're at home on top of this. So I could imagine playing on the Yankees. I hit a home run. I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna sit there and wait for my Gatorade bath. You could throw the gum at me, all the stuff that they do now. I'm waiting for the pie to, in the face during the interview. And this guy touches home plate, holding his shirt, goes
Yeah,
inside the dugout, changes his shirt, puts on, the American League Champions T-shirt that they give out, and then
inside
comes
the
back out
dugout.
onto the
Yeah,
field and does everything he should have done right then and there.
it was weird,
That's
man. It was
that's
weird.
not suspect, man. Come on. And then I'm hearing now that he had a tattoo on his
Well,
collar
yeah,
wasn't done, and he didn't want to. Come
there's
on,
a
you guys are
tattoo.
clowns. You guys
So
are clowns. You guys should be embarrassed, man.
there's a tattoo that's seen. Um, I believe it was on his left shoulder,
Hmm.
but everybody's saying the tape that they saw was on his right shoulder. So it had nothing to do with.
He's a
They're coming
clown.
out with anything. Yeah, they're coming out with anything and everything to cover up.
They're
I
all
have a quote here from Justin Turner, who just recently came out. I think it might have been today. He said this today or yesterday, but he said listening to the commissioner's interview, talking about precedent, and then he said um, the commissioner says that there's never been a precedent, and Justin Turner says that's because it's
it's never
never
happened.
happened before. So it's the first time in the game, to my knowledge. That's uh, that's why you have to set a precedent, and the commissioner didn't do that. I'm guessing he set a precedent, but it's one of the weakest precedents. Uh,
He did
you can,
nothing. He did
uh,
absolutely nothing.
and if something else comes out, I think the commissioner's job has to be on the line here, because what's going to happen is even Vegas is getting into it. There's an over under on how many times the Astro batters are going to get hit. Is like the over under is what 83.5.
Yeah, I think
83.5.
I don't think he's gonna go over that.
So you're going under.
Yeah, I say 83. It is 162 games in season, so 81, right? That 81 is half. So you didn't say that somebody's gonna get hit every other game. I don't. They said that the commissioner is gonna be. He's not gonna allow this. Which I mean,
Yeah, so they're
you're not gonna allow
supposed to
people to
be.
get hit, but you're gonna allow people to cheat. So again, Rob Manfred needs to stop talking. He needs to stop tweeting. He needs to just sit back and let the players police the game like they've been doing for 100 years because he has no choice. He's gonna sit. He really came out and said that he's not gonna have that. He's gonna be protected. listen, you clown.
Or there's gonna be an email sent out to
And it
all the
doesn't matter.
teams.
It doesn't matter. And you know what's the worst part, man? The only people that have paid for this again is AJ Hinch, which was manager for the Astros.
Right?
Fora, which again, what are we waiting for to hear about the Red Sox? Manfred? What are you doing, buddy? Let's
What
go.
are
You
you
know you're gonna
doing?
do anything about this.
He's tweeting.
Tell
That's what he's doing. He's tweeting. He's trying to save his name because the players aren't happy.
but
I'm telling you
wait,
right now, the players
who's
aren't happy.
okay? But who's gonna pay? Who's gonna pay? You know who's gonna pay? The pitcher that throws at the Astros. He's going to get suspended for a game or get fined, and he's going to get a bigger punishment than anybody on the Astros did for all this nonsense that we've been listening to. And that's the sad part. But man, I'll start a GoFundMe page for whoever gets fined. We'll put up all that money because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that other people are going to have to get fined and get punished because the players are going to want to police the game themselves because nothing happened. So you basically are leaving it up to the players to do something about all of this. And so don't be surprised if these guys are getting thrown at because they deserve it. The way they've been walking around and thinking they invented baseball. I mean, I can't wait for the season to start, man. I cannot wait.
Here's a quote from your favorite player, Mike Trout.
Just I don't agree with the punishments. The player's not getting anything. It was a player-driven thing. It sucks because, like you said, a guy's career has been affected. A lot of people, lost jobs. It was tough. It would be me going up to the plate knowing what's coming would be pretty fun up there. So, it's just, like I said, a lot of guys lost respect for some of the guys, and, it seems like every day something new comes out.
So that is the face of the MLB speaking his mind.
Listen, first of all, he's not my favorite player. Okay, we're gonna get that out now. I like Trout. He's a good player. He's not my favorite player.
Your favorite player.
Second of all, Trout needs to come out and say that he doesn't know what anybody's talking about with the HGH because again, baseball's ignoring it. Everybody's ignoring what was meant. Just say you don't know, you don't have no thyroid issue. Just say that and we could get past this too. Because I don't want to hear anything from you when you've been mentioning something and you don't address it. So, and neither does the MLB.
Well, that's great time you bring that up. So Trout was asked about the HGH use, and he denied it. He said, "I didn't worry about any of it because it's not true." So that was his response about the release of the statement denying. I mean, that was his response to the rumor about the HGH.
All right. Well, I guess we got to take that with a grain of salt, right?
So, I mean, that means your favorite player is clear. I believe the guy.
It's Rob Manfred's favorite player.
Let us know what you think about this. I know a lot of Yankee fans are extremely
angry. We're angry.
I don't know about angry. I mean,
pissed off. We're pissed off.
They're pissed off at the answers, but all right, can you be more? Are you more mad about nothing happening, or are you still a little salty about the 2017 just going down the way it did?
Look, 2017, we didn't expect a lot.
That's what I said.
We didn't expect we got rid of all our players at the deadline. So we weren't expecting a lot. It was when we got to the playoffs, we were playing with house money. Of course, Yankee fans, we always have high expectations. It's, championship or bust. But that was like the one season where we felt like, okay, we're gonna pack it in. It is what it is. We were just excited to see all our young players, Sanchez, Judge. We had the baby bombers, as they call them, doing their thing. So I'm not really mad at that. But we went to a game 7 and to then hear later on that they were cheating. So
disrespect is what.
So we they struggled. They struggled to play us, and they cheated, and they still struggled. I mean, they won. They came out on top, but if imagine if they weren't cheating, then what? We would have probably won, if you ask me. I mean, there's no way of ever knowing that. So I'm not so mad about it. It upsets you when you think about it like that. But again, we didn't have high expectations for 2017. What bothers me now
Is the blatant disrespect. So it was
yeah,
disrespectful that they did it in the first place, and now it's a blatant disrespect that they came out and said pretty much what happened happened. We're the champs. You can't do nothing about it.
yeah. Well, I'm salty about last year. Last year, I feel like we should have won. And again, if we went the distance with them, and if if they weren't cheating, would I mean, again, it was a terrible pitch by Chapman, but is without the cheating, is Altuve up there thinking he's gonna obviously gonna throw me a fastball because that's his best pitch, and then maybe freezes up on that slider or whatever it may be. Like it could have been a different outcome without the cheating. Maybe it didn't go the distance. Maybe we would have beat them at in Houston, and so
And that and
it bothers me
this
more about that.
this popped into my head, right? So you mentioned freezing up. So one of the biggest conspirators, the ones behind this, were Alex Cora
And Carlos Beltran.
and Carlos Beltran. And the person that I just think, man, how do you come up with this? And I just go back to Carlos Beltran freezing up on that curveball. I think it was a curveball. It might have been a slider
From
in the
Wainwright,
World Series or to go to the World Series.
it was against Adam Wainwright.
Yeah, Adam Wainwright. It just froze up, didn't swing, strike three. And I think that's the day he said, you know what? I'm going to start using that camera because this is not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he won a ring with the Astros, though, right?
He was part of that team.
So I mean, it's like all signs pointed to these guys are cheating. Even with Cora coming out and saying that the Yankees' biggest acquisition, I think it was in 2018, was
Yeah. Carlos Beltran.
Carlos Beltran as an advisor, and then like he, gave a little chuckle, a little wink, whatever, because he knew like. Yeah, everybody by that point already knew what was going on, whether it's around the league or it's just the Astros and the Red Sox, which I doubt because, again, it's like Spygate in the NFL. The Jets called out the Patriots. They found out everybody was upset. You didn't hear none of the players talking about this because it was something that was being done around the league. So to think that it's not being done around baseball, it's kind of dumb. You hear all these stories from the White Sox, a couple years ago or years ago, they had a light in center field, different things like that. I've heard all kinds of stories throughout the last couple of weeks. So
I mean,
it happens, but man, to be so blatant about it and then just the way they were carrying themselves.
I think it was more about also they were told already. Listen, we know what's going on when there was the whole banging on the garbage, which is the 2017 year, and then they came back and did it again until they got caught for good, like until it was said this is what they're doing and it needs to be stopped. So I don't know. Let us know how you feel because you can see our emotions. We might be biased because we're Yankee fans. So if you're not a Yankee fan, let us know how you feel. If you are an Astros fan, let us know how you feel. Comment below. If you like what you hear, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell to get all the notifications on all the episodes that we're going to be putting out. And once again, you can find us on YouTube. We're on iTunes, Podbean. We're soon to be on Spotify. We're working on that. But we're going to be posting up episodes, probably 2 or 3 episodes a week. So stay with us. Let us know how you feel. And till the next episode, we're out.